Hello, welcome to Video Mania 2. I'm the man behind the counter, Duncan, and today we're going to talk about an exciting new release. I finally got it in. I had trouble getting it, like a lot of people. It is True Lies on 4K, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis. It also stars Bill Paxton, who's absolutely hilarious in this, Tom Arnold, who's funny as well, and Tia Carrere and Art Malik. This movie is written and directed by James Cameron. And the plot is basically uh, Harry Tasker, Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, works for a agency called the Omega Sector, and it's an anti-terrorist organization. It's secret, and he works for the U.S. government, basically. And he's kind of a James Bond-like spy, but it was kind of an interesting twist of what if James Bond had a suburban family? So that's what he has here, and his wife, played brilliantly by Jamie Lee Curtis, Helen Tasker, she kind of wants something more. Things have gotten complacent, and something's just missing, and she wants her life to be kind of exciting, and so he kind of neglects his wife and daughter, not intentionally, but just his job. It's just very demanding of his time, and all that. So that's what this is, kind of a spy thriller and a romantic comedy thrown together. And it's very entertaining. It's a 90s classic. It's up there with Speed and The Rock and stuff like that. And it's had a long period to get to home, the 4K format for sure. It came out on VHS, which I still have. And then it had a bare bones DVD. And I always thought James Cameron would go back and do like an ultimate edition or, remaster it for that time. But it never happened. Some super double disc special edition or something. Never came. And then Blu-ray came along in 2008. I thought something big would come along. It never did. And then when 4K came out, it was like, hey, how about some of your classic films? We know you're busy working on this Avatar universe, but are you ever going to do 4K in there? 4K versions of some of your classic films. He's like, it's coming, it's coming. And it was like, I'll believe it when I see it. I thought he would get to it at some point. He just had time to oversee it. And something that didn't surprise me, when he would oversee these remasters, he was going to tinker with it. And I've heard, I haven't seen the Aliens or the Abyss, but this one was tinkered with a lot. And I'm going to go into my thoughts on the audio and visual quality now. This movie, like I said, is absolutely one of my favorites. This transfer, I'm going to be honest with you, at times it's brilliant, and other times it's not. It has this waxy DNR applied. It seems overly warm and bright at times. It's not my favorite transfer. It's not my favorite at all. I knew going in, James Cameron's one of those filmmakers. He's like George Lucas and even Steven Spielberg to an extent. When they go back to their old works, they tinker with things and change things. So this one, nothing as far as the movie itself is still the same originally. It's not like the Star Wars special editions where things were added in or anything like that. So this is the definitive cut that I liked. The movie, though, the opening scene, um, which is an homage to James Bond, like Goldfinger. He cuts through, goes through the water to break into a bigwig party, and then he takes off the wetsuit, and he's in a tuxedo to get in there. When he gets into that party, it just looks a little, the skin tones just look too warm, and, it looked a little different. And then there's a scene when he thinks his wife Helen's cheating on him. He's walking in front of a bus, and Tom Arnold's character Gibson has to pull him out of the way. This is probably the part with the DNR. It really looks, their faces look waxy. It's uneven. Then there's other times when he's staring down his wife because he thinks she's cheating on him. Arnold's face, you can see the stubble. It looks brilliant. But it's kind of uneven throughout. There's a few scenes when he's hanging off the helicopter, an iconic scene when he has to pull Jamie Lee Curtis's character from the limousine. He's got to hold her from the, he's hanging from a helicopter. When he's trying to tell her the bridge is out, you can see it there. So it has a waxy appearance. I heard it's not as bad as T2. I've never seen T2 as far as that. But this transfer, it's Jeff Rossio pointed out. He used to be called Films at Home. This is kind of True Lies 2.0. It looks like, and this is people said, it looks like it was filmed much more recently, not in the early 90s. And so, are you going to like that or not? So, I'm still kind of on the fence about it because it's just so bright. Like I said, the Corvette, the Simon Bill Paxton's character, the Corvette, it looks brilliant. When his daughter Dana's boyfriend's picking her up for school on his bike, and the leaves are falling. It's like these red and orange leaves. The color is brilliant. You can even see the coffee come out of his mug to spill when he's trying to stop her. It looks very good. But then there's the other times the waxy appearance. So this movie, what you've heard is correct. It's uneven. So here's my thing. If you're a fan of it like me, and you grew up watching it with more of a grayish hue and not so bright, and the skin tones are so warm, it's going to be a little jarring for you. This is going to be honest, it's going to take some getting used to watching it this way. I don't hate it, but anyone who's watched this channel, Video Mania 2, I prefer the natural look, an enhanced version of how the film was shot. I will use this as a perfect example. This is a bare bones TV of Eye for an Eye with Chuck Norris. It's smudgy. It's kind of hard to watch, honestly, because the black levels were just so bad. And Kino Lorber put out a Blu-ray, and it was like watching it again, but it still had a natural look. It was just enhanced. This, I didn't, some say they saw film grain. I didn't see any. I didn't notice it. It looks like it was shot recently. And so it's the perfect way to describe it. It's like if True Lies were kind of reshot with digital cameras now. That's how it looks. And the DNR at times, the warmth, it looks a little waxy. So this is going to have to take time to grow on me. If I have to, out of a 5-star system, how I grade the video transfer, I'd give it 3 because at times it's brilliant, never looked better, and I'm glad I have it. But it's not the way I was used to looking at it, instead of some more James Cameron bluish hue instead of the grayish hue, like I said. So, and it's very bright. So it's going to take some getting used to. Maybe I'll come to grow to love it more. When you talk about the waxy appearances, there's only a couple scenes where I really noticed it. So it's kind of like an older movie that's been restored and the negative had some damage to it, and they kind of put a little warning before it. Like, hey, there's going to be certain scenes you're going to notice things are a little off. There's nothing we could do. That's just the way it is. That's how you have to approach this with the picture. The audio is pretty damn good. It's not the best Dolby Atmos I've ever heard, but it's pretty damn good. The gunfire is great. Some of the explosions, the jet sequence at the end when he's shooting machine guns like through one of the skyscrapers in the climactic scene, that sounds incredible. The dialogue is crisp and clear. So that is good, but it's going to be a different thing. A lot of people aren't going to like it. I even looked at the Blu-ray, and the bluish hue wasn't as pronounced, and it seemed more comfortable to me. I'm like, this looks a little bit more like the True Lies I was accustomed to. I scanned over the Blu-ray. So now let's go over the artwork, which I really like. It has a slip. Here's inside. It comes with a digital copy, and here are the discs. That looks, the artwork I'm very happy with, and the slip I'm happy with, and I'm happy it did get its due. But if you're a longtime fan like me, it's going to be an adjustment period, and some of you aren't going to like it. I'm still kind of on the fence. It's just, I wish, had it been up to me, it had been the natural, just remaster it the way it was originally shot and still have that filmic look. This one's a more modern look, so it's going to depend on you. I will say, if you've never seen the movie before and you buy this and you're into physical media collecting and you buy this first time, it's probably not going to bother you at all. So we're going to depend. Is it an upgrade over this, which is what I had before? Absolutely it is. But you just have to know going in, there's going to be a little bit of a adjustment period, and I think it's going to take me a while to adjust to it. So those are my thoughts on it. Did I write anything else down? Let me look here. The special features are pretty good. There's a documentary that I did like, so the special feature aspect is good. But it's going to depend on your preference and how much of a film purist you are. If you're a big film purist, you're going to be a little disappointed with me. I can't help but be a little disappointed. So, the movie, 5 stars. The video transfer, 3 stars. The audio, I'd give 4 because it's pretty good. So, would I recommend it? Yes, but know what you're getting into because it's going to be different for you if you're a longtime fan of the film. So those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Were you able to get a hold of one? What did you think of it? Have you ever seen it before? What did you think of the transfer? Let me know any of that in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.